Konnichiwa mina, boku wa Jeremy desu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. And today is now Sunday, Sunday, January the 11th, 2015. Happy birthday, Mario, if you're watching this video. And it is over a week late, but I am going to finally tackle Episode 13, Final Battle Reincarnation from Sailor Moon Crystal. And, let's address the elephant in the room first and foremost here. Whatever the hell she was doing with when she turned around and the moon wand became the moon, like, long staff, basically, that was not turning it. I know that was the meaning of it, like, you know, twisting it and stuff, but it was kind of just like, do I have anything? I sort of do. It's a cat toy. But if you're turning something, you know, turn it. Don't just sit there and go like this. Like, basically just like that. I don't even know if the camera's catching it, but that's basically all it did. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, that's wrong. Very wrong and just bizarre in many ways. Look at me. Leave it to me to point out all the inconsistencies. Anyway, this chapter actually was very, very close. Very close to the manga. Very small changes, such as, they don't go to Crown Arcade Center at all. They basically all end up at D Point, where the Dark Kingdom is. And Luna and Artemis are there, and then Luna wants to go to Mare Serentitis, which she doesn't actually say in Crystal. She says it in the manga, but she just wants to go to the prayer chamber, which is basically in that area where it used to be. And they do end up going up there, so that remains normal. Other small aesthetic things, mostly like when they do the Sailor Planet attack and then they go to do the actual using their transformation powers and using the Holy Sword to be able to send the power up there. They change the order of how they say their power names, but again, nothing like too overly huge and weird. However, I know LaShawn, if you're watching this, I know you are going to be incredibly happy of the fact that Sailor Venus is taking on her leadership role again with the sword, and because I know Venus is your girl, and so she's right back up there. So you just had to wait for it. Just had to wait for it. They didn't completely change it, just in the last chapter they kind of did. So, but I think it had a really good payoff. Now, having the image of Sailor Moon superimposed over Metalia, and, you know, holding out her hand, and then Venus grabbing it, and then it turning into the sword, I thought was fantastically delicious. And the fact that they are really, really pushing the whole friendship thing. Obviously, when the colors went into their bows and they each had a memory, they pulled a soap opera memory sort of idea. Things. One of the golden rules is show us memories, like actual memories, stuff that actually happened. Don't manufacture stuff, and they kind of manufacture things, but it kind of works at the same time. They're really working on the friendship aspect of this. Now, it's really funny how it shows how close the girls are together. Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, and Venus, of course, with Sailor Moon, and how their friendship has grown. Tux, Endymion, Mamoru has sort of, he remembers the generals, but it's not the same closeness. I think it kind of works similarly in how a lot of other anime series work, especially on the shonen side of things. There's not necessarily an entirely huge closeness to it, but, you know, they understand each other, they help each other, but at the same time it's more, we're guys, you know, ha. Less emotional, although Mamoru did cite the fact that the boys have been there for him, and once again protecting him. It wasn't dissimilar, really. I mean, in Sailor Moon Crystal, we saw the 4 stones pop out of his pocket, and that's what saved him from the blade. Whereas in the manga, it was kunzite that did, but then the other rocks kind of came out of there too, and then they appeared, so it's sort of similar to that. I think it happened a tiny little bit later in Crystal, in the scene, than it did in the manga chapter, but that's okay. Again, it's still in there. Glad they kept it. The fact that, once again, Tuxedo Kamen is helping Sailor Moon with power, gain the power to be able to defeat Metalia, just goes against what the opening theme says again. We don't need guys to help us out. I don't know. It's really funny how they really, it's like another elephant in the room. It's the part of the theme song, and yet it still happens, which is fine. perfectly fine. Don't get me wrong. Just pointing it out there. The watch gets kind of disintegrated. It turns to like a dust when it takes the brunt of the sword when Sailor Moon impales herself. But in Crystal, it's still... basically the glass is broken, but the watch still is there. It exists. It's still whole in some degree. So yeah, another thing I wanted to point out, this isn't necessarily specific to this episode, but I find it gradually irritating each time I watch new episodes. And it's not specifically the series, but I watch them on Nico Nico in English or Crunchyroll. Depends on which one is working faster. In this case, I watched the episode a little bit later than normal because I had to be up early for Anime Revolution Winter, Annie Rebel Winter last Saturday. So I watched it at 6 in the morning and I just didn't have time to do my video for it because we had to leave. So, but still, I never really clued into too much due to probably lack of sleep at the time. When you watch it on Nico Nico, the annoying thing, very annoying, is that there's text going across the top and the bottom, and it's people live tweeting, I assume, or I don't know if it's Instagramming or Twitter. I don't know what the hell they're doing. But there's a lot of annoying text that goes across the screen, and it drives me absolutely batty. Watching it again, I remembered that, and I'm like, oh, fuck, why are we watching this? It's irritating to have that. Nico Nico seems to have that a lot. Crunchyroll, I don't always watch because for some reason the English subtitles don't work all the time for me. I don't know if it's just my computer. It probably is. I have this predisposition to having machines that don't like to work with things like that. But so I kind of watch back and forth, and we'll see. Now, that commercial that aired, of course, telling about what's happening with Sailor Moon R. We did see some glimpses of Chibiusa and Sailor Pluto, which is fantastic. I'm really excited about that. But they lied in saying that it was going to air on the 3rd. In fact, Chibiusa's appearance, if it follows the manga like it has been with the rest of Crystal, should be in the next episode at the tail end of it, just as she appears and holds the gun to Usagi's head, which we saw in the preview commercial anyway. Not in the preview of the next episode, though, but the commercial that they showed for R, or the second part of Crystal. I keep calling it R because it's the Black Moon family. I mean, come on, what else am I supposed to call it? So, I found that really interesting that they painstakingly made sure not to show Chibiusa in the end, or at the very end of the episode, where they have the telling of what's going to happen. It makes me wonder if they are going to actually show her. I'm sure they will. They'll send a preview of her at least, probably, to tease her appearance. So, I don't know. I don't know. We will see how it goes. I'm pretty sure they will. I mean, it's following pretty close. Overall, I enjoyed the Sailor Moon Queen Beryl series, the Dark Kingdom series so far. I really like Luna's voice now. She's catching all the emotion and stuff, kind of like Keiko Han used to. If they do decide to redo the S movie, that would be wonderful, or the Kaguya, or Princess no Kaguya one, the one about Luna when she gets turned into a human. And that's another thing. If they continue on with Super S, like S, Super S, and Stars, we'll get to see, if it follows the manga, which I'm sure it will, Artemis and Diana as humans, as well as Luna. So, very exciting about that kind of stuff. I am excited about that. So, I'm in the midst of putting my manga back on my shelves. I put my other shelf back in there now that the dishwasher's gone. Hopefully there's less of a chance of another leak, but I'm kind of switching things. I moved my Dragon Ball and Ranma half Chinese manga up on the top just in case, because I can't read it anyway. I do like the artwork, but just in case. I mean, my Sailor Moon stuff to me is very, very sacred. Not that the other ones aren't, but I'm just saying, you know, priorities, right? And, yeah, so I really liked this episode. It was quite action-packed, only minor differences, and overall, looking forward to next Saturday. And I should have my review done on time, because I go in at noon rather than open, so... tomorrow, Sunday, because it is technically after midnight, Animé-d in Japan, Insanity on the Radio. My radio show is back on the air, so check it out, 2 to 4 p.m. Pacific Time, www.thex.ca, 92.5 FM in Kamloops on the radio. Japanese music at its best. I've got Ayumi's new song, Zutto, which came out Christmas Eve. She's got a new album that's coming out, actually, but it's like a bunch of previous love songs that she did in a classic version, and I do like the classical ones, but some of them are like Honey and Voyage, which she's already done. I was looking at the track list today and there's only 10, so we'll see how it goes. I'm kind of hoping that she puts out some new stuff soon, new content as well on a new album, and Lekka, I hope, comes out with a new one too, because it's just about the time, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I don't think Moon Pride's going anywhere. I'm pretty sure that we're going to have it for the next arc as well. We might get a new ending theme. Something tells me, I don't know, we might. I don't know if it's going to happen. If we do, it's probably still going to be Momo Idol Clovers. But I'm pretty sure that Moon Pride isn't going anywhere. So I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. We'll have to see. Alright everybody, I will see you guys again sometime soon. I'm sorry again for the lack of videos lately. I've just been so busy with stuff and sick and work and getting trapped in Vancouver an extra day and white shit everywhere outside, and anyway, and Caden moving out, and the fish tank is gone. Oh, actually both the fish tanks are gone now, so it's a good thing I did a video the other day kind of in front of them. So we'll see how, it's just weird, it's so quiet downstairs now because there's no buzz from the water thing, and it's dark down there too in the living room, so I don't know. Anyway, I will let you guys go. Jamathane, thank you for watching. As always, comment down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Your thoughts on the episodes and stuff like that. Sailor Moon in general. I'm a huge Sailor Moon fan, as if you didn't know already. And, yeah, so we'll continue on with more videos sometime soon. So, Jamathane Mina. Bye-bye.